always so good to hear stories of people overcoming great obstacles in life, and all the more so when they then make it their life's mission to help others. So Liane Berry's story is exactly one of those. She chronicles it in her book called 7 Times Rise. From a drug user at just 12 years old to doing jail time to getting sober at 47. And now she has opened Liberty House. It's been open for about 2 years now. It supports, it helps provide support and transitional housing for at-risk women here in Montreal who are leaving rehab or jail. Liane Berry joins us now. Nice to see you again, Liane.
Thank you so much, Natasha. It's a really pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me today.
We met at the first time we met, because we've met a few times. The first time we met was at the Montreal Community Cares Awards, where you were being honored. That's quite a few years ago now, and your story just kind of continues to evolve. But let's go back to 12 years old, when you first started drinking and doing drugs, and things just got worse from there.
Yeah, I mean, it started gradually, right? I mean, at 12 years old, there's not much, I don't have a lot of money. There's not much I can do, but I believe it started before then, to be honest. I mean, an addictive personality, didn't just appear at 12 years old, but at 12 years old, I started to use substances. So the addiction before that was, wanting more and more and more. And then came the substances, and then it just propelled into bigger substances, needing more of that as well because after a while it gets, it doesn't do the job anymore. So, it just led to other things, and more serious drugs, and then more serious crime because the drugs cost more money. And so, it evolved into
like snowball.
Snowball effect. And then it was just a cycle.
And you were 19 was it night? I mean, you tell me, were you 19 when you realized that you really, truly had a problem, that you were a full-on addict?
No, I didn't realize at 19, but that's when I went into full-blown, because I started to use harder drugs, right?
Okay.
So that's when I went into full-blown, not caring about anything, and, consequences didn't matter, and, just doing whatever it took, right, to get high.
When you look back at that time now, I mean, look who you are, Liane. You're so amazing, and you've done so much. Does it almost seem like that was someone else?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, just when I just read the book myself, if I have to go through it, we just finished getting it translated into French. So I had to reread and look, and I'm just reading it and I'm like, who is this person? No, it seems unbelievable that I actually did all that stuff. Yeah.
How did you start to change that cycle? How did you get yourself off that path?
Well, I think it was probably, a couple of different factors that brought it all together. But as the name of the book kind of sums it up, because it says 7 times rise, right? Which means I tried to get up quite a few times, right? 7 times significantly tried, had a period of abstinence, did something about it. And then, but I kept falling, and I think that, it took a lot of, different factors. I think I was just there. I like to say that, because I can explain from my experience, I can't really talk for the general, people that have substance abuse.
It's different for everyone.
It's different for everyone. I think for me at that point, at 47 years old, when I got locked up on April 30th of 2014. Yeah. And I woke up in jail the next day, and I was just like, okay, this is it. I got to try something different. I can't do this anymore. And something switched, and I started to put all of the energy, all of the, street smarts and all of that perseverance, and, I put it into recovery. At that point, it started that day that I started to put everything into recovery on May 1st. And then that snowballed into where I'm at today.
I'm curious, when you say it was that experience, that waking up in jail that next day, that basically began turning everything around. Had you never, ever been incarcerated up until that time? Never spent any time in jail?
I had spent so much time in jail that
why then? Then why then?
I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing, Aaron. How can I explain why then? Everything came together. It just it was that time. Sometimes you hear this in recovery from addiction circles, an alcoholic's recovering is when it's your time, it's your time. And that was my time. And if I can, as long as I live, there's hope that I'll get my time. So that's the thing, is I lived many years of it, right? At 47 years old, I'm like, okay, this is my time, and that's basically what happened. And then I started to, like I said, put everything that I was doing before, all the manipulation, calculating and the this and that and the energy and the time. And then I put that into recovery, and that's what propelled it.
And along that road to recovery, did you have moments when you were like, as much as you put all your energy into it, that you thought, you know what, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm doing enough, if I'm ever going to get to the point I want to get to.
100%. I could never have imagined that this would be my life today. Never. When I got sober in 2014, I never thought this would be what it would be. Even when I met Natasha in 2018, I had no idea it would turn into this.
Yeah. And looking back on it now, it turned into this and all that you're doing and writing a book and being so busy and talking to others. Is this kind of where do you go from here?
Yeah.
Is this what you want to keep doing?
There's still more to go. I mean, I'm going to get this story out there. I want to break the stigma. I want people to know that it's possible for people to recover no matter how far down they fall, no matter how many times they fall. As long as there's life, there's hope. And I'm going to keep on putting the message out there. I want to get my story on the big screen, TV series, movie, something, get it out there so people know that it is possible. I saw this, I was watching this TikTok video or whatever of Ryan Reynolds, and he's like, oh yeah, so he was talking about superheroes and making a TV show about superheroes. And I said, well, what about a real life superhero? Like, let's make a show about that. And I mean, I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about real people from Montreal, from NDG, from our circle that have overcome challenges that we can't even imagine. So my challenge was that substance abuse. And now I can, transfer that experience onto others. But, let's get it out there, because a lot of people think that when we go to rehab, that's it. There's the solution. They're going to go to rehab. They're all better. And that is a Band-Aid. That is taking us away from the substance, but that is not giving us the work we need to stay on track, and stay sober. So it's just the first part.
Yeah.
It doesn't do the trick.
And so Liberty House kind of helps bridge that, right? So women are coming, they're at risk, they're coming out of jail or rehab, and then Liberty House kind of helps them ease back into society and set them on the right path. Well, what kind of work do you do at Liberty House?
Well, that's exactly what it is, Natasha.
Okay.
It's exactly that.
Beautiful.
It's because, like I was saying, that when we go to rehab, we get taken away from the substance, so we have a chance to clear our mind a little bit. Things get better. Maybe we don't owe so much money anymore, and we eat properly. And maybe do a little exercise. But
it's not the real world.
That's it. So we get healthy there and we start to feel better. But when we have to get back in the real world, I didn't know what to do, in the real world. I was just like, because everything I did before, I can't do it anymore. So what am I supposed to do?
Right.
So I needed that extra support and guidance so that I could stay sober. And that's what reintegration is about. So at Liberty House, we have all the services in place. I haven't had a client yet or a participant in our program that has asked or said they have an issue that I couldn't refer them somewhere.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Liane, it's so
story.
great to see you again. So Liberty House is the house, is the place that's helping women. 7 Times Rise is the book. If people want to know more information, your website is probably the best place to send them, LianeBerry.ca. It's BERRY. You're amazing. Keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in and sharing that story. And I hope it helps some other people out there hearing this perhaps from you. So inspiring, I think, to say the least. Thank you so much.